Hello, my name is Gaius Plinius Cecilius Secundus. I am 25 years old. My professions are a author, a politician, and a lawyer. I lived in Misenum with my mom Plinia Marcella and my uncle Pliny the Elder. My father was called Lucius Cecilius Silo, but he died when I was young. My uncle was a author, a naturalist, a natural philosopher, and a naval commander. He was a very noble man who died bravely attempting to rescue victims of the Vesuvius eruption. He died in Stabiae near Pompeii. The day of the tragedy was a very sad day. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning. As usual, my uncle was in his room. I could smell the fresh crops that our slaves had cut early in the morning. I could smell the olives, the grapes, and the wheat. I was sat at my table in front of the balcony, which had a good view of Vesuvius, Pompeii, the Bay of Naples, and Sabihae. The Tyrrhenian Sea was as calm as usual. Suddenly, there was a tremor. There had been tremors the last 4 days. Between 1 and 2, Vesuvius started throwing dirty smoke. My mom drew my uncle's attention so that he could see the phenomenon. The cloud was rising from a mountain, that at such we couldn't tell which, but afterwards we knew it was Vesuvius. My uncle ordered a boat made ready. He told me if I wanted to go, but I refused and told him that I preferred to study. He embarked to help those people in trouble. He went to a place which others tried to escape. He went directly to the wolf's mouth. Unfortunately, he never came back. Now, the smoke had covered the sun. It passed from being noon to night. It started to rain a kind of rock. It was pumice. It floated on the water as I walked on the balcony to feel it. It smelled like sulfur. At about 2:45 in the afternoon, there was a big tremor and a rumbling sound. Vesuvius started to throw more black smoke into the air. There was lightning. Pumice was still bombarding everywhere. It was like Jupiter fighting Pluto to death. We made an offer to Jupiter, but it didn't work. My mom and dad and I went to the balcony to watch. We were horrified. Pompeii was all dark, covered by the unbreathable smoke. It had passed 7 hours since Vesuvius erupted and pumice was still falling. Then super hot ash and molten rock was sliding down Vesuvius. As I could see, it incinerated everything on its path. I could see how people tried to escape by sea, but failed because the wind was blowing towards them and made the waves push them against the shore, and this also made impossible for boats to sail. The people on the bay died instantaneously by the hot molten rock. There was a massive earthquake. I told my mom that we needed to leave, but she refused. There was another huge explosion of magma. Pompeii was impossible to be seen. I was worried about my uncle. After 18 hours of eruption, the bottom section of the column collapsed. Then a final and greatest surge traveled right across the Bay of Naples in a black cloud of death, and it was coming towards us in Misenum. Then I told my mother again that we must leave, and she heard me. We started running. Then I told my mother to cover her mouth as the black cloud of smoke approached to us. I could barely see nothing. I watched everything carefully to understand it. After 18 hours of eruption, finally it stopped. I was very lucky for surviving. I thank Jupiter, who looked after me at all times. The city of Pompeii was unrecognizable. There was nothing, just large quantities of pumice and ash. Everything was devastated. I wish my uncle is now resting in peace, as well as the city of Pompeii.